Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sabba pāpassa akaranam kusalassa upasampada sacitta pariyodhapanam etang buddhāna sāsanam ti. Dear friends of Dhamma, good evening to all of you. I'm so happy to be here this evening, and also I like to say thank you to Venerable Saddha for inviting me to come here. I believe this is the last, because of this last day of the year, everybody must be busy. However, until they come, we can just discuss some little bit of Dhamma. Dhamma we have to learn for us to practice, right? We are all Dhamma practitioners. What you most of the time do, we know that when you go to temple, you light candle, you light incense, you just pay respect to the Buddha. That's, I wouldn't say that's a Dhamma practice. Dhamma practice is going to be in the daily life. Dhamma should be in our daily life. We add things into our daily practice. So that is how we do every day. We all Buddhist practitioners. What did Buddha do was, after he became enlightened being, for 45 years he was teaching. 45 years, what did he teach? The Dhamma. So, today what we're supposed to do is, we are going to reflect what have been us doing for last year. So, 365 days into the past. And then we are thinking of refreshing, planning for next year. I believe that's your purpose, right? So, you may have been doing this for a longer time. Now you have to start thinking, in reality, what purpose do we have? What purpose did Buddha have? For we cannot be perfect right now. Maybe if we set plans to be perfect, you will get disappointed. Right? Can we become perfect? One day we will. That is what Buddha did, right? To bring us perfectness, bring him perfectness, what he did was for a long time. He performed virtues. What do we call them? What do we call that Buddha, what he did? To become Buddha, and we have to remember, he didn't become Buddha for himself, right? He did become Buddha, wished to become Buddha for himself as well as the others. Find the path of happiness for everyone, not only for selfish reason. Otherwise, simply look at, I don't know if I mentioned that previous time, we want to become someone. Most of the time when we do that, what do is we boost our ego, right? We boost our ego, and we want to be, important person in our society, in our community. So we are someone. But that is not what Buddha said. Simply, if you look at what he did, he was a supreme human being, but not in our level. He was really higher. That's why we always have, see, look at the symbol we have is a lotus, right? Where does the lotus grow? Lotus is growing on the mud, but it comes above and shine. Similarly, so we also have to very simply come above from that level, social level that we are always in. If you are in the same place, there's no improvement in us. We have to enhance our spiritual qualities. This is what we benefit from the Buddha's teaching. Buddha's teaching for us to enhance our spirituality. We definitely need that. Otherwise, we will be in the same level. What do? We are very good human beings, very fortunate human beings. We do beautiful things. Yet, what do? We are accumulating karmas. I was watching that your videos when you all went to India. So you all very happily, I saw that. Very happily you are engaging in sharing, giving, caring about other people. Right? I think whoever went there, you were very happily enjoyed that. Buddha did not say that do not enjoy. Be happy. And also we have to be serious Dhamma practitioners. That does not mean that you have to, grumpy face and, frustrated minds. No. He encouraged us to do, what is the key word that he used? I think all of you know, everybody knows now. All around people talk about it nowadays. I was using the Gatha before. Sabba papassa akarana. Kusalassa upasampada. Stay away from all evil. Kusalassa upasampada. Do good. Sachitta pariyodavan. Purify your mind. Etang buddhana sasanam. This is the Buddha's teaching. I think all of you, this is very familiar. I call this one Buddha mantra. Very basic. If anybody asks, what is Buddhism? This is the answer that all of you can give to anyone. But remember, because it is familiar, with us, it is not, we have to go deeper in that. That is very low, surface level, we always call it. It's a hard work. What Buddha was sharing with us was hard work. Simply look at, when the Buddha come to this world, do you think that for how long did he practice? Any of you remember that, whatever you have heard? How long did he practice? Not a Buddha, Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva practiced long time. Long time. The time-wise, if you hear it, in the Pali, the language that Buddha was using, 4 eons plus time period. What is 4 eon means? In the today's mathematical language or scientists they use, this is in Pali, not in the today the people they are using, I think, different number now. But in Pali language, it's called eon mean 140th power of 10. Can you imagine that formula? 140th power of 10. That's an uncountable number. That is why it's called eon. Asankheya, Pali word. Pali word is asankheya. Cannot count. No end of counting. Such a length period. 4 sets of such time, our Buddha means Shakyamuni Buddha. Some other Buddhas, there was so less, asankheya, means 16 eons. There's another Buddha in the stories, it's called 8 eons. Likewise, there are differences. However, in the Shakyamuni Buddha, he performed virtues to be the Buddha for such a long time. Why is that? Why do you think that, let's see, now that's the shortest time. Not 8, not 16, but he was spending 4 eons plus time period. Why did it take such a long time? Such an uncountable 4 sets of time. It is not easy to purify our mind. It is hard work. Right? You just simply imagine sometimes how long does it take for you to get rid of your anger that you get angry? When you get hurt, some people hurt us, right? When you are in day-to-day life, some people hurt us. But when you hurt, how long does it take for you to forgive that person? Simply look at it, you know that. I know for me, now it's not, but long time ago, it was sitting in my head for a longer time, being unable to. Even though sometimes we call that we practice metta, but not to that person. Right? Don't you have reservations like that? We do, right? I'm not ready yet to forgive that person. Just don't believe what I'm saying, but just imagine. This is how we have to look at our own mind. That's how we have to, work just to maintain our purity of our mind. That's how it goes. It's hard work, very hard work. But Buddha says you can do it. That's a beautiful thing. Buddha encourages, do it. You can do it. That's empowering part of the Buddha is so important. So Buddha was so compassionate. So compassionate. He knew that it is hard work. He didn't say that you can do it just now, stop it right now. No. Because he knew how he did work. To bring his mind in that pure state, it took such a long time. In such a person who have worked for such a long time, do you think that he comes here and just say, purify your mind, so you'll be happy? No. If you really learn the Dhamma, so there are deep, he was even suspicious about sometimes. There was a time, I think all of you know that now many of you have been to Bodh Gaya, where he became Buddha, right? He was enlightened under Bodhi tree. And after becoming enlightened, he was spending there for 1 week. Remember? That's the story of the Buddha. I think that story is very important to know. Being there, after what did he do? After receiving, Sujata's story. Sujata offered the milk rice. He consumed it. Then, what did he do was, he has that alms bowl. He placed it on the water and he made the wish. I think all of you know it. That if I achieve my goal, may this ball go upstream. Right? You know that story part. So it says, it started going upstream. What did he get from that? He got an idea. Okay, I'm going to achieve my goal. Now that was a sign. With that sign, what did he do? Now with imagination. So he is coming to the Bodhi tree. On the way, he met someone. Who was that? I think you may have seen the picture sometimes. The man comes in who was a grass cutter, right? Grass cutter, he was bringing grass to either sell or to feed the cows. And from that, he gave the Bodhisattva 8 bundles of them, right? He's taking that 8 bundles of grass, kusa grass, that's the word, right? Kusa grass. He went to the Bodhi tree, and then he looked around, and then he spread that, and he made a cushion for him. Very simple person. Even though he struggled for such a long time, now he was matured. In this time period, he saw his mind. He let go of so many things. First, we know that how he, let go, because in the palace he had all the luxuries. He gave up all those things, right? Can we do that? Can we leave our home like Buddha did, like Bodhisattva did? We are not there yet. See how hard it is. That's a hard thing. Bodhisattva, his father, built 3 palaces for those days, 3 seasons. Very luxurious life, because father heard, one day he will be leaving the palace and become an enlightened being. This father was not admiring that. It was not, good idea for him. He didn't care about the Buddhahood. He just wanted his son to be what? He just wanted his son to be the most powerful ruler in the nation, like all of you. All of you want your sons and daughters to be well, better than you. Isn't that how you were? That's what you are expecting. You always want your children to be doing nice without having any suffering things. So similarly, that father also was like that. So he wanted his son to be the most powerful ruler in the nation. So he built everything possible to make him happy, make him bonded to this life. That was the idea. Attached to the life. He had all kinds of entertainers, live entertainers he had. Singers, dancers, and everything. But it didn't work. He was not happy. Right? Was he happy? No. He felt something missing, even though the luxuries were there. Because his meritorious power was, parami was, perfection was matured. It is time for him to come and find that thing that he was searching for, realizing the reality. That is what he was searching for. And what happened was, after he coming to this understanding, realization, he decided to, no, this cannot be the way. So can any of you remember what he really was searching? What made him to leave his home? These are very basic things I'm just reminding. Yes. Yes. 4 signs. That was predicted to be, see these things. First thing is, he saw a man, very elderly person, who was walking with the help of a stick, with a hunchback. Because I'm saying this, he saw his father. Father is older than him. But same palace, parallelly they are growing up. Every day he saw him. Yet he did not have seen someone of that nature. With hunchback and walking with a stick, with very slowly. That was a shock for him. Having seen him, what did he do? Why is that? He asked, who did he ask? Channa. Then he said, oh, not only him, we all become like this one day. We all get old. Hearing that, it was a shock for him. First shock. He felt very bad. He was depressed. Then second one was sick person. Seeing a sick person, that's also another shock for him. Why is that? Then the answer was same thing. Like we all become like this one day. Not only this man, we all get sick. Then also death and the monk. Having heard, seeing, experiencing these 4 sights, 3 sights made him so depressed. That was a shock for him. Then he started thinking, what is the meaning of this life if it is so? He start questioning. So there must be a way out of this. He was thinking. As he was thinking this, then he was inspired by seeing a monk. That's inspiration, keeping that in his mind. So that is how he left. He got an idea, then he became a truth seeker. We call that truth seeker. King Satchagavesi. Satchagavesi means searching for the truth. What is the truth? So he starts searching for. That's how he left. He left. He met teachers. He met other practitioners. At that time, there were 62 religious groups in the practicing. So he did practice all those things. In the Dhamma discourses, there are certain times that he really shared his experiences. Certain days. We know that, looking at, I saw a picture. I think many of you who joined that, tour group, you went to Durgeshwari, the cave, where that skeleton body is there. So that's how he became, because he did that. Other people thought this is the way to burn off sins. We all have, so much of bad karmas. So this is the way to burn it off. So saying that, believing so, he also experimented. Finally, what happened was, after experimenting with the other groups, certain things was, any of you have seen that there used to be one movie called Little Buddha? Did you watch it? No? You cannot remember, right? So some people were hanging on the trees from their legs, locking their foot. So they thought that is the way to do it. Some of them were standing on their hands. Some of them were standing on their 1 feet. Some of them are sleeping on the thorny bushes, because they thought this is the way to burn off our negative karmas. Some of them were during the daytime, like 12 o'clock in the middle of the day, having 4 fireplaces around him, gazing at the sun. Scientifically, what do we heard? If you do that, we are burning our lenses. You will become blind. Right? But this is what they were thinking at the time. So they thought this way we can get rid of our negative karmas. Even Buddha himself did that as a bodhisattva. But he gave up. This is no, these are extreme. So that is called in Pali, Atta Kilamatana Yoga. As a yogi, you are practicing austerities, severe austere practices. So, but what he did was, he gave up. There are 2 extremes. One is luxurious extreme, because his father gave everything there, so he experienced that in the palace. Now in the forest, you experience this. When you're experiencing this, experimenting these things, even the person who predicted him to be the Buddha, when he changed, Bodhisattva, he changed it. He wanted to be moderation. He changed that. Now that is not the way to do it. Because when he was touching his belly, he was touching his spinal cord, right? So he thought, no, this cannot be the way. I have to live to find this truth. If I want to be the truth seeker, so he has to do it. So therefore, he gave up these 2 extremes, and then he start feeding himself, get little strength, and then continue to practice. What did he practice from that time onward? Middle path. So all of you know this one, even though I don't know, because sometimes I know some of you may not know, thinking, so I'm just sharing that. Don't ignore that, now, because if you join me, I can move faster for the Dhamma teachings, okay? So he decided to do middle path. So he started moderately eating, then he started practicing. Actually, what he practiced was mindfulness, satipatthana. That is, he had been practicing for a long time in samsaric life. Not just in this lifetime, but samsara. This lifetime also, we remember now, he was at that ploughing festival time. We learn, that time he learned, he practiced it. So that is samsaric habit that he has done. So therefore, it was easy for him to do it. So he practiced, and after, from that experiences, he went to the Bodhi tree, and having put that, making his cushion, and he was sitting on it, he, with great determination, he sat there. What was the great determination? Even though my flesh and blood dried up, I will never give up this seat. So that's what his determination was. That is called Vajrasana, diamond seat. In the diamond seat, he was sitting and having that great, determination, and he did achieve the goal. For first watch of the night, he gained one knowledge, right? Second watch of the night and third watch of the night, he comes with what we call as Dibba Chakkunyana, Chuti Utpatti Jnana, Asavakkhe Jnana, right? 3 knowledges. Divine eye. From divine eye, what he did, he experienced was he could go into, penetrate into many lives of his own. And second watch, he could penetrate, he could see many beings who are dying and born again. Death and birth of other beings. So there he comes with, collected that with the karmic theory. He saw some of them are very nice people becoming ugly. Beautiful one become ugly. Good one, become bad one. Certain things were not, he was puzzling. Why is this? Answer for him was, that is nothing else. Nobody is punishing them, but it is their own karma. They have done it, so that is what they are. Because of their own karmas, they are receiving this. That's what he had. So, having seen it for the last watch of the night, he comes up with the theory. Asava. Asava means, what is asava? Defilements. He starts seeing the defilements in his mind. Left over. For him, it was left over. What weaknesses? Then finally, he saw, as a result of this practice, he could see that nothing else but craving is the thing that bringing us back and forth into this life. That's what he saw. So he was very joyfully, he expressed that his feeling, very happy. For 1 week, he enjoyed that happiness sitting there. Many life, he said that, there he says, many lifetimes I have been searching for you, the builder of this house. Now I saw you, you will never make it again for me. You remember that, right? Do you remember that? Aneka jati sansarang sandhavisang animbisang gahakarakang gavesanto dukkha jati punapuna gahakaraka dittosi. Gahakaraka means the builder of this house. Dittosi, I saw. You will never build this house again for me because I destroy all the facilities. What are the facilities? The karmic energy that we have been doing. Being ignorance. We know that we are, when you go into dependent origination, what we talk about is avijja, ignorance is the cause. We all are in that boat. We all ignorant. We know by knowledge, but we do not see it ourselves. So that's the difficult part. But this is what Buddha was trying to, guide us, teach us. We have to see it. We have to see it for ourselves. So we are the one who is to practice and find out. So that is the deep Dhamma. Many 45, sometimes, depending on some people, personalities, he was changing, but same 4 noble truths he was teaching, including this dependent origination. So this is what he was showing. This is we call, what do we call this? Insightfully we have to see this, not superficially. We may be, sometimes when we not learn, we don't know. We very much, we think into these simple activities we do that would take care of us, by going to temple. Of course, he encouraged us to do a lot of, practices, deep activities. Dana is one of them, which is where all of you are very, very familiar with that. Many of us going to cover whole, our system by practicing those things. Very happily you share. You can do that. But that's not enough. Dana cannot cover everything. What else do we have to do? Sila we have to practice. That's the training part, right? Sila is the foundation. We all have to bring our life into certain training. And what else? Bhavana. This is very important. Threefold practices. We call threefold practice. Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Even though you hear it again, try to hear it again and again. That encouragement is very important to us. If somebody is encouraging us, definitely it's nice for us to hear and push ourselves. Sometimes what happened to us is we fall back. Sloth and torpor, Ti-Ratana comes. If there's nobody, no. What you do is coming together when you do practice meditation, it is helping you. All of you are, even though you don't think about it, you are supporting the other person to practice. You are bringing that energy to the other person. That way it is important for us. So therefore, these things should be daily practice, but daily you cannot come to the temple. Daily you should be practicing where? At home, right? At home, at work, everywhere. But where do we get that skill? First, we come to the programs like this, maybe retreat day, you go and practice. And later on, what you do is, you apply that skill in your daily work. It's a hard work, but we have to keep it in our mind. We have to push ourselves. Without pushing, nobody would do that. And it would never happen by itself either, right? What have been doing in the samsara, most of the time, we don't know do any of us know where we came from? We don't know, right? Do we know that where are we going? We don't know. But we know one thing. We know one thing, we go. That we know. We have seen the people who are before us, they have gone. Likewise, we will be going too one day. But if it is the case, remember that we are very fortunate beings. Why I am saying this? I am saying this, we are very fortunate because you are Buddhist, you have Dhamma, right? And we have at least Bhante, very fortunate that you have very good sincere Bhante here, Saddha. At least that way he will be organizing things for you to get engaged. So in that sense, all of us are very fortunate. You should be thinking that. You should be happy about it. Happily, we have to push ourselves to practice. Without practicing, there's no perfection. You will not be perfect. So therefore, like Buddha did, Buddha himself, he did practice for a long time. We also need to practice. But for us, there's something comfortable. Why? Buddha has had the wish to find the path of awareness by himself. That is why it took such a long time. But advantage we have, because he did that for such a long time, we have the Dhamma, path is there. Can Buddha do it for us? No. Can somebody else do it for us? No. Remember, even though we do things, when somebody goes away from us, we're thinking of that person. We are doing all these, meritorious practices, and we share the merit. Do you think that everybody else, all the people who are going away from us, waiting for it? No. But we do out of compassion, thinking in case if that person is waiting, let me do something nice for that person. Let us do something nice for that person. But even their departure we are benefiting from that in one way. What is the benefit we get? We know everybody is going for that reason. So we have benefit in that person's name. We engage in some good activity, right? We do practice, meritorious deeds. that from that we do develop meritorious good karma, positive karmas. As Buddha said, don't do bad, do good. So this is a good action. Where are we? We are in the side of positive side. So he encourages us. At least that will not bring up so much suffering. Yet, we are not free from suffering. As Buddha said, as birth is there, and as far as birth takes place, we are facing the what? Old age, sickness, and death. Right? That suffering is there. As far as birth is there, this is what his question was. He wanted to find a way out of that. So his argument was, as far as birth is there, so sickness, old age, death take place. But wishing for it, may I not have sickness? May I not have death? May I not face, all those are wishes. There's a sutra Buddha talk about, by wishing so we will never be over that. But what do we have to do? We have to continue to practice. Practicing, so we have to see this. How? Intellectually. But we all see that intellectual knowledge we may have. But what we have to do is, we have to see it in vipassana, what we call that vipassana meditation. Insightfully, we have to see this. That is how he encouraged. So therefore, we have to make effort. Learn Dhamma, practice Dhamma, and that would help us to understand. Otherwise, we will be in the same place again and again. So I'm not saying not to do good things and enjoy your life. But enjoying, definitely we have to set our goals to be the good practitioner, perfect practitioner, to bring ourselves into perfectness. So Buddha, that is what he was encouraging. He was encouraging monks. So monks, there are beautiful, parks, beautiful trees, go and practice. So, but sometimes what happened was, when we see these things, people think that, in a way that Buddha talk about suffering, right? Most of the time, dukkha. We heard that, because when we talk about, then people in the West, especially in the Western world, they start thinking about Buddhism is so pessimistic. It is not pessimistic, because that is something that we are lacking. We are not ready to take it. We don't want to see it. We're ignoring it. We do something else. We like to enjoy, how are we operated? Only 5 senses, right? Eye, ear, tongue, nose, body. What happened to us? By 5 senses, we cling to things. Simply look at it. We like to see things. Whatever we see, look at things again and again and again. So you may ask me a question, is it wrong to do that? No, it is not wrong. But what happens, we take impressions, we take pictures. Don't we have a storage of memories in our head? You can still pick up things what you have done as a child. Don't you have images in your mind? Millions of them, right? Anytime they can come. Millions of images are there. So similarly, what we heard, there still voices are sitting there. Certain voices may be, coming back. What your, friend said, certain things, so muchly attached. That certain taste is still sitting in our memories. We can see millions of pictures in movies in our head. You can see them. What are they? So what we have experienced, in this lifetime, there are things sitting there. Are they pure? Or are they bonding us to this samsara? We are bonded to this. There's one discourse called, what do you call this? I think in Midland saying, Buddha talk about it. Arya Pariyesana. Search noble quest. Any of you have heard this discourse, noble quest? I think it's a Midland saying number either 24, 25, or 26. In that range, I cannot exactly remember. So they are, for us, that he talks noble quest, ignoble quest. Being a person who is linked to this samsara, they still do the same things. We are still repeating the same things. He says, even though it could be gold, it could be jewelry, silver, it could be gemstones and things like that. But he says there are no value in these things. What happened to us is we added values to it. Adding values to it, we're still searching for the same things. We like to collect. Right? We like to collect. And collecting them, what will happen to us is we are bonding to this. We are bonded. We cling. So that is what he's saying. He knew that it's not possible for you to let go of things that in a day or in one, but gradually he is encouraging us to practice. Let go little by little. Instead of adding values to it. So that's how he enjoyed by letting go. See, how did he do that? For a long time he practiced. That's why it took such a long time for him to. Otherwise, do you think that was easy for him to leave his family, his child, his wife, and the 3 palaces that his father built for him? It is not easy. Because he did practice it for a long time. That practice made him perfect. That is why we call it, he perfected paramis. That's called parami, perfections. He perfected for a long time. He was practicing and practicing and practicing. He becomes stronger in that. That is the same path that we all have to. If we like to liberate ourselves, if we like to enjoy our freedom, that is the way that he enjoy without having anything. Right? Where did he sleep? Under trees. For us, what would happen to us if we don't have a place to sleep? We will be very crying for ourselves, be unhappy, suffering, so much of suffering in mind, so painful. We don't want to do it. I had so much wealth, now I am sleeping under a tree. Right? That's how we would be looking at. But once the Buddha, as a Bodhisattva, after he given up all those things, was he suffering? Mentally, he did not. Even though he was suffering physically, still, he was not clinging to that suffering. Buddha as well as the Arhantas, all the saintly monks who realized that Dhamma, they were not suffering. They almost worked at it, and therefore he could, whatever he going through, they were just not, they did not have emotional part in that. They didn't have it. So therefore, Buddha, seeing that feeling of that freedom, he was encouraging us to, you can achieve this. You can, he was encouraging monks as well as practitioners. So those people, stories of all these bhikkhu-bhikkhunis, and you can see it, how much freedom they enjoyed and how they expressed it. You saw that, the ladies, Patachara, right? Kisa Gotami, and Kema, Uppalavanna. It is not but one lifetime story. In Even our stories are also same, but we cannot see, we can penetrate through. But those bhikkhu bhikkhunis and the, disciples of the Buddha, they came a long way to realize this Dhamma by practicing. So that's very same way. That is why that stories they are very inspiring for us to see that and practice it. And Buddha, he had so much, because since he practiced to find this by himself and share it with the other beings, that's his wish. So therefore, he presented this very beautiful way. You can, if you really want to enjoy it, you can enjoy by looking at those stories, how he presented it. Look at that simple, the story of Kisa Gotami, how he presented it, right? I think you know that Kisa Gotami story. The thin lady who had a son, who lost her son, right? Because social status at the time, you had to be a very nice appearance person, but in this Kisa Gotami, so thin, nobody was looking at her, nobody was respecting her. But however, after getting married, finally she got a son, and this son, in a young age, he died. Now, in her mind, she's going back to that, sad state. Now, because of son, she got some kind of status. But now, when she didn't want to accept it, she was denial, living in denial and taking that body around, looking for doctors, please help me, please help me. But people didn't understand her mind. Without understanding, what they do was chasing her away. This crazy woman bringing this, dead body and coming here. So they did not have compassion. But finally, someone, compassionate being, sent her to the Buddha. Go, go, go. There's a Shakyamuni Buddha is there. He may be able to do this. So she went. Then he didn't say no. Then he was asking, please help me to, cure my son. What did Buddha say? He didn't say no, right? He said, he accepted. Okay, under one condition. If you bring me sesame seeds, mustard seed from a family where death did not take place. So please, then I will help you. So then what happened? See, look at how psychological was it? How he was looking at, very compassionate, looking at this woman. And there she started going around, and until the evening she went. What she heard was that somebody has passed away. Finally, hearing it many times from every family, she had admitted that. She accepted it. So that means my child also died. Now she could let go of that dead body and came back to the Buddha. And finally what happened? Realizing it, accepting it, she, listened to the Buddha. Now she wanted to become a nun. So that is how it's very hard. Even we ourselves will be denial in many situations, many different things. We see, intellectually we understand the Dhamma, but we are not ready to give up. Go, because we have not practiced enough. Our karmas are not matured enough. So therefore, Buddha was encouraging us to practice more. And so therefore, in this kind of time, what we have to do is, today, what's supposed to do is reflect. What are we reflecting on? So did we do the right things? Sometimes you may have had resolutions last year. Did you achieve your goals? You are the one who knows it. You set your goals and you did not. Sometimes, do we have to be regret about it? No. Let's reaffirm them, what we want to do. Okay, I was sitting, I wanted to planning for this, I could not do it. So at least this year we can do it. So you refresh your memory. And otherwise what happens is, Buddha said, Napari, what he said was, katang kamma, natang kammang katang sadhu yankatva anutappati. This is the Buddha's word. Such action is not good if we do, after doing it, if we regret on it. Natang kammang katang, it is not good to do such activities. What kind of? Having looked back to it, if we cry, if our eyes are filled with tears, we should not do such actions. Regretting on things. So there's nothing to regret. We know, of course, what I missed is missed. But definitely we can do. What we want to do, we can do. So therefore, we have to make firm determinations. Once we have firm determination, we can, if we, sometimes we do, maybe we see 100%, but we will do 20%. We have to be satisfied with that. We have to at least forgive ourselves. Compassionately, we reaffirm, I'm going to this year, I'm going to do this much. When you do it again, look at it again, oh, I couldn't do this. Make a note of that. Do it again. For example, if you set your mind to practice meditation. I'm going to do this year at least 10 minutes of meditation in the morning or in the evening. I'm going to do it. So you, having made that decision, you start doing it. So maybe as you keep going it, your office work is so much and now it's stressful and you miss certain days. But is that means that forever you have to do that? But you have to come back to it. Even though 2-3 days you missed it, get back to that habit. Good habits are to cultivate. What happened to us is sometimes good habits we forget. We easily let go of that. What we're supposed to do is not to let go. Such good habits. But bad habits, to let go. Because most of the time we are operated by habits. Certain bad, negative habits are there, I still couldn't let go. You all can, that individually we ourselves have to say it, including myself. We all have negative habits. Those negative habits, slowly understanding. Sometimes even I don't know that negative habit. Sometimes very suddenly looking at I have been doing this. This is not good. So I have to let go of that. So you have to make that decision. You must be able to see it. So therefore, letting go certain negative conditions and adding certain positive conditions, we can build up our skill. This is how we build up. Doing so, what we do is we definitely practicing Buddha's message. Buddha's message is for peace, right? Peace within and also among. Peace for myself as well as peace within among us. We are very compassionate, kindly generating, coming together, encouraging other people, not imposing. We cannot impose on other people. Yet, when you practice Dhamma, they will be inspired by that. So it is especially for children. Sometimes parents bring children and ask them to, we can say, pai, right? Right? But not asking that, but you can just do it, they copy it. Most of the time, children copy us. So we have to show it by inaction. When we do that, they also learn it. Many things, if you look at in your minds, many things what we do is go back in your memory what my mother did or what my father did. Even if you are a person who is cooking, you may go back in your memory for that long history as a child, what you ate, your mother's prepared food. So you maybe try to bring that same taste if you are cooking. Is that true? Do you do that? Do you cook in? And if you're cooking, you may do this. So many things in that our lives are same. We always go back to in our memory what our parents did, searching for it. So therefore, so definitely good habits are to cultivate and bad habits are to let go. So it is to not to, as Buddha said, do not dwell in the past, right? Do not fantasize in the future. Live here, live now. So that's it. Atitang nanso chanti nappajappantyanagatang. Pachuppannena yapenti tena vanno pasedati. So one day, a deva, divine angel, passing by, having seen a monk in the river bank, he asked this question from the Buddha. So these monks are having one meal a day and they have very beautiful complexion. What is that? What is the secret of this? This angel asked. Then he said, they live in the present moment. They are not regretting sitting in the past or in the future. What is we do if we live in the past? In the today language, we call it, we are in the about past, living in making an effort to reflecting on that is bringing us stress, right? In the past, most of the time is depressed. We call it depression. If we into fantasizing in the future, what is that? That is anxiety, right? Depression and anxiety, that makes us stressful right now at this moment. Therefore, Buddha said, live here, live now. Present moment. So therefore, it is good for all of us. It's a hard work, but need training. We have to train ourselves. Buddha showed us the path, and his teaching is there. We can use that, for our own benefit. Dhamma is for us to practice in the present moment. So therefore, all of us can make effort, learning Dhamma and practicing it. We all have learned. In our memories, we may have so much what we have heard. Now it is time for us to put it back into practice. So I think this is what we have to reflecting on past year. Today is the last day. So you saw things, you did make some decisions, and whatever you could reflect on. So certain things, don't try to beat yourself up because, sometimes that is what we do. You have to be compassionate to yourself too. Compassionate to yourself and compassionate to others. Compassion, looking at that, so even practicing metta, we have to, whatever left over, whatever we couldn't do, pick up and do it. So that way, we can have another successful year. That is what you have to do for next year. 2026, we want to make it. So you can make a determination, firm determination. We want to be very successful spiritual way of life, plus that your material success of materiality in your life. So in both ways, we have to, because they go hand in hand. And if you can, spend more time in spirituality, well, it's good. So it is mostly with, as we are maturing in our age-wise, and we can use those time for us to benefit for us here as well as hereafter. So that is what we should be doing. And I think I will stop there because now it's time for, as Bhante said, Saddha told me, it is going to be puja time and chanting for us. So I think I was trying to bring Buddha's life and life story and how we can apply that, what he was teaching us, how he was pushing us. Out of compassion, he did that. His teaching is nothing else but compassionate work. So it's a long time story. So we also have to find that we are very fortunate to have the Dhamma, and let us continue to practice in our everyday life. Okay? Thank you. You can quote Bante. Should we? Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you. Amen. Come on, Annie. Okay.